Hello everyone, how are you all? This is your educator G. Vijaya Manorama. You all call me as Vijaya ma'am. Okay, so today I'm going to start a new chapter, Human Eye and the Colorful World. So the colorful world is our topic. As yesterday only the syllabus was released by CBSE day before yesterday. So there only it was given that only colorful world is included. It is with refraction of light through a prism, dispersion of light. What are the causes of dispersion? Tyndall effect. Okay, and about atmospheric refraction, applications of all the atmospheric refraction. So those all topics I am going to cover in this chapter today. Okay, so नीचे description box में already light chapter का link दिया हुआ है, and whatever the chapters I have finished till now, so those all links are available in the channel. So you can just go through with that and share with your friends, as many as you can share with your friends. And नीचे description box में my telegram link is also given. You can join me there, and whatever the doubts you have you can ask me there. Okay, so their quizzes, every day quiz is going on in the in the telegram group. And here also every Saturday I'm going to conduct. Let me finish off all the term 1 syllabus, then I'll go with everyday multiple choice questions. Okay, so in the Google Forms also I'm going to provide you in the description box all the material. Okay, all the material in the sense multiple choice questions, as you have the term 1 with multiple choice questions only. So here we go, let us start. So it is the prism, where the refraction of light through a prism is the first topic of this chapter, which we are going to discuss now. So as in the previous chapter we have discussed about the how the refraction takes place in the glass slab. So now in the triangular prism how the refraction takes place, that I am going to discuss now. So what exactly this prism? So prism is a transparent refracting medium. Okay, medium means here it is glass is the medium, bounded by three plane surfaces making a triangle. Okay, it has two triangular bases and three rectangular lateral surfaces. Okay, three rectangular lateral surfaces. So in the multiple choice questions you may get how many triangular bases by seeing that three. You can write it as 3, but don't get confused. A prism is a transparent refracting glass medium bounded by three plane surfaces making a triangle. So three plane surfaces are the three rectangular lateral surfaces and two triangular bases which you will find. Okay, triangular plane surfaces making a triangular. So three plane surfaces means three rectangular surfaces which make two triangular bases. Okay, hope I am clear with this. So here this is the refracting medium, this upper part is the refracting medium. Okay, this is the refracting angle which we say, this is the refracting plane, and this is the base of the prism. Okay, here it is the base of the prism, here it is the way to write refracting surface, and here it is the refracting angle. Okay, refracting angle. So the plane surface at the bottom is called the base of the prism on which the prism stands. Okay, so here when the light ray is passing through the prism, what happens? Let us see. When a light ray passes through a glass prism, it gets bent twice. Two times it bends. It means first one is air and glass interface, and the second one is glass and air interface. So the emergent ray is deviated by an angle to the incident ray. So that is called as angle of deviation. Actually the light ray should pass like this, but as the shape of the triangular prism is like this, so it got deviated little, and due to the refraction of light which it takes place. Okay, and here from other side also, if we extend this light, so there is an intersection. There is an intersection, that is only called as angle of deviation. Okay, so this is called as incident ray. This is called as incident ray. This is called as emergent ray. This is called as refracted ray. Angle of prism, which is always 60 degrees only. This is the normal, and the angle which it is forming, it is called as angle of incidence. It is angle of emergent. So 2 times the refraction is taking place, that's why it is called as angle of refraction, R1 and R2. Okay, so here the light ray, when it is extended like this is angle of deviation. Okay, so if we see, so what is angle of deviation if the question comes? What is angle of deviation if the question comes? So the prism makes the emergent ray bend at an angle to the direction of the incident ray. So the angle is called as angle of deviation. What is this angle called as? Angle of deviation. So that only if we see incident ray plus emergent ray minus angle of prism equal to angle of deviation. So this, if the light ray is sending from other side, then it will be as incident ray. So that's why we can consider that as emergent ray also as incident ray, right? So here 2 incident rays, 2i minus a equal to d. So angle of incidence of prism is equal to angle of prism plus deviation by 2. This is sin I. Okay, angle A equal to, angle A can be written as R1 plus R2. Angle A can be written as R1 plus R2. It is equal to 2R. So what is R? R equal to A by 2. Okay. Here the refraction, when it is taking place, it is also following the Snell's law. Okay. Here we have I value. Here we have R value. Right. Sin I by sin R equal to A plus D by 2 by A by 2. Right. So this you have to write to find out the Snell's law. Okay. So when a ray of light passes through a glass prism, it gets bent twice at the air glass interface and glass air interface. The emergent ray is deviated by an angle to the incident ray. So that angle is called as angle of deviation. So if the question comes as to find out according to the Snell's law the sign values of this prism, so then you have to write sin I by sin R. I value you got A plus D by 2 and R value A by 2. Okay. So here if we see, so there are few causes for this dispersion of light, right? What are the causes of dispersion of light? Because as we all know that light ray is a mixture of 7 colors. Light ray is a mixture of 7 colors. Okay, so Sir Isaac Newton, he has investigated about the nature of light, and so what he considered, that he has considered to be light as uniform or homogeneous. Okay, so as white light ray is a mixture of all the 7 colors, they were in the mixed form in that white light ray only. So what he did, he has taken a prism. So Newton, he has asked, he allowed the sunlight to enter into his dark room through a small hole in a window and placed a prism in the path of that light ray. So what he found, the light which is emerging from the prism on a white screen. Okay, he had expected to see a white image of the screen of the sun on the screen, but what he found a band of 7 colors which is called a spectrum. Okay, they are considered as violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. that is only called as Vibgyor. Okay, that is only called as Vibgyor. So here what it has taken place, the splitting of white light into its component colors on passing through a glass prism. Okay, so this is only called as dispersion of light. When the phenomena of splitting of white light into its component colors on passing through a glass prism is called as dispersion of light. So after dispersion, the colored components of light beam it obtained on the screen, on the white screen. So that is called as, this is called as spectrum. With this, he concluded that white light ray is a mixture of all the 7 colors. So here each and every color has different angles, different bending capacities. So different colors of light bend through different angles with respect to the incident ray when it is passed through the prism. So okay, so what are the, this is the cause of the dispersion. So actually white light ray, when it is going, it can pass directly, but due to its shape, due to the different colors which are present in the white light, so that has different wavelengths and different angles it will bend. Okay, so same speed of light in vacuum and air also, all the color of the lights have the same speed of same speed in vacuum and air. Okay, and next one is it bends with different angles, bend with different angles. Okay, when white light ray is incident on the face of the prism, waves of different colors deviate through different angles, and in this process they get separated or dispersed. Okay, so the prism bends each wavelength of light, white light, each wavelength of white light, or that white light ray is a mixture of 7 colors. So each wavelength of light means colored light by a different amount. Okay, so if you see the wavelength of violet color, this is lambda, which is the symbol of wavelength. Wavelength of violet color is, okay, it is least. Okay, that's why it bends or deviates the most. Understand? So red color is, wavelength of red color is most or highest wavelength. That's why it bends or deviates the least. Opposite. Okay. If the wavelength is least, then it will bend and deviate most. If the wavelength is more, then bend and deviates it is least. Okay, so oppositely this bending, deviations and all. So the comparison, if we see for prism and glass slab, so already here the light ray passed and the dispersion took place over. So already in the previous chapter we have discussed that, in the previous chapter already we have discussed that when a light ray is passing through glass slab, okay, what it will do, it will bend towards the normal and it emerges out again when the light ray is passing through the passing out. Okay, so here, so this is the normal, this is the incident light ray, and this is the emergent ray, angle of refraction and all. So without arrow it is not a light ray. Okay, don't forget to keep an arrow. So when it is going out from the glass slab, light ray, it will move away from the normal, but when it is passing from rarer medium to denser medium, it will move towards the normal. So first thing is, the glass slab makes the emergent ray parallel to the incident light ray. A prism makes the emergent ray bent at an angle to the incident ray. Okay, what is the direction? Direction of the light ray will displaced, but its direction is not changed. Okay, the light ray passing through a glass slab is displaced, but its direction won't change. It was displaced a little, moving away from the normal, moving towards the normal, only displacement took place. Here, whereas in the prism, what happens? The light ray, when it is passing through prism, it deviated and its direction also changed. So this is the deviation, and direction also it changes. Light ray, it should go like this, but it is going in different direction. Okay. Next, the main thing, for simple example, if we take this prism like this, another prism if you place it like this, okay, about this we'll learn in the next slide. So this is like a glass slab only, it will show the properties of glass slab only, understand, when they were placed like this. Okay, and now the next one is principle of reversibility. Principle of reversibility, it means when the if the path of the ray of the light is reversed, okay, if it is reversed, the ray of light retraces its entire path, okay, retraces its entire path. That will take place in glass slab, retrace. Okay, next in the prism, if you see, ray of light is reversed and the ray of the light cannot retrace its entire path. Entire path, it is not possible because the refraction it is taking place, and the shape of that glass prism is also different. Okay, so this is about dispersion of light. So one more time, what is dispersion of light? The phenomena of splitting of white light into its component colors on passing through a glass prism is called dispersion of light. Okay, now the next topic is recombination of spectrum. Just now I said, no. So here two prism, Sir Isaac Newton, what he has worked a lot on this finding of this recombination of spectrum. What does it mean? So this experiment, he has taken a glass prism, and on the way of the sunlight, when it was kept, it formed a spectrum. Again, on that way of the spectrum, Sir Isaac Newton has inverted the prism and he has placed here. So then again the light ray is very fast to travel. It doesn't need any medium also. When other medium it was found, then it will not stop obviously. So immediately it passed from the another prism also. So then it came out in the form of a white light rays only. So then what he has proved? He has proved that the prism by itself produces no colors. Okay, so the recombination of 7 constituent colors forms white light. Okay, white light ray is a mixture of 7 colors, right? 7 colors. So this experiment, what it was proved, it has recombined the spectrum. No, that's why it is called as recombination of spectrum colors to give white light. Okay, so with this what we have understood, the prism by itself produces no colors, and the recombination of the 7 constituent colors forms white light ray. It is very important till last year exam, as it used to come for 3 marks, but as it is the term 1 syllabus, in the term 1 syllabus only it is there. So multiple choice questions, carefully you need to answer, go through each and every sentence in the NCERT textbook. Next, now come to the rainbow. So what is this rainbow? A rainbow is a natural spectrum of sunlight in the form of bows offering in the sky when the sun shines on raindrops after a rain shower. Imagine this is the raindrop. Okay, imagine this is the raindrop. So a natural spectrum of sunlight in the form of bows, in the form of, these are the bows, okay, appearing in the sky when the sun shines on raindrops after a rain shower. So each droplet there, after the rain, each water droplet acts like a prism. Each water droplet acts like a prism. Okay. So which is always formed in the direction opposite to that of the sun. To see a rainbow, we must have the sun behind us while we look towards a cloud. Okay. So the water droplets over the cloud acts like a small prism only. So here what happens when the light ray, from the sun enters a spherical raindrop at a point Q. At a point Q, the light is refracted and dispersed. Here the dispersion took place, refraction took place. So the different colors of light are bent through different angles. See how it is moving, it is not moving. So with different angles it was bent. So when different colors of the light falls on the inner surface of the raindrop at point R, it reflects them internally. So that is only called as TIR, or total internal reflection, right? So here the raindrops finally refracts with different colors of light again when they come out at a point S. Here it is coming out, this is the point S. From Q it was entered, from R total internal reflection took place, and again it comes out in the form of spectrum from S. So these different colors of light after leaving the raindrop thought it is there. Okay, so these different colors of light after leaving the raindrop reach to us. Okay, we are the observers, no? Reach to us, and that only we find it as rainbow. We find it as rainbow. So this is about the refraction. What are the things taking place here? This is the sunlight. Okay, here the refraction took place. Here the dispersion took place. Here the dispersion took place. Then total internal reflection, TIR, total internal reflection. Again here refraction. So many, some lakhs of water droplets, lakhs to millions of water droplets are there. From there when it is passing, we find it a bow, a curve, that is called as rainbow. So rainbow is always formed by the rays that undergoes two refractions and one total internal reflection. Okay. Two refractions and one total internal reflection. Okay. So next, here is the answer. You can see a rainbow is an optical and meteorological phenomena that is caused by both reflection and refraction of light in water droplets, resulting in a spectrum of light appearing in the sky. It takes the form of a multicolored arc. Okay, arc. So rainbows are caused by sunlight always appear in the section of sky directly opposite the sun. Okay. This is about rainbow. So now natural phenomena related to atmospheric refraction. So what is atmospheric refraction? The refraction which takes place in the atmosphere is called as atmospheric refraction. So when the light ray passes through the atmosphere, as we know that earth is made up of with different layers of atmosphere. Earth has different layers of an atmosphere. So when the light rays passes through the atmosphere, which are having different layers of atmosphere and different layers of different atmospheric densities. Okay, different densities it has, as it is made up of different layers of atmosphere. So different densities and different different refractive index. N is the symbol of refractive index. Okay, so this refraction of light by the Earth's atmosphere, which it is taking place in different layers of atmosphere, it is called as atmospheric refraction. Okay, so the atmosphere of the Earth is not uniform, as it is made up of so many layers. It is consist of many parallel layers of the air of different densities. It is so varying temperature and pressure account for the different densities. So as here the temperature and pressure may be low, here it may high, here it may more high, like that the difference which we find with the different densities, and as they have different densities, different refractive index also. Okay. Next, refraction of light. Here we can see twinkling of stars. As light from a star races through our atmosphere, it bounces and bumps through the different layers, bending the light before you see it. Okay, so since the hot and cold layers of the air keep moving, so the bending of the light changes too, which causes the star's appearance to wobble or twinkle. Wobble or twinkle. So the continuous changing atmosphere due to different temperature and densities, the light ray refracts from the star by varying amounts and in different directions from one moment to the next. That's why when it has so many layers like this. Oh, my drawing is very beautiful. Okay, different layers when we have. Suppose you are the observer. Okay, so here same with this only, you can find that stars seem to be higher than they actually are. That is also another reason. So twinkling of stars and height of the stars, that also varies. These two are the phenomena of atmospheric refraction only. Okay, so here what happens, the light, this is one of the star and this is one of the star, but actually apparent position, this is the actual position. If I think this is the actual position and this is the apparent position I am taking. Okay, so what happens here, you are here also, your friend. Okay, so line of vision, it is called as line of vision. So position of the stars also varies. The stars, they seem to be very higher than they actually are due to the atmospheric refraction only. So the same thing happens in the case of twinkling of stars also. Okay, so practice this diagram also. Okay, chalo. So advanced sunrise and delay sunset, this is also another phenomena of atmospheric refraction. When the rays from the sun hit the atmosphere, they get refracted. Due to this, the sun appears to be at an apparent position, which suggests that it has already risen. Okay, the same thing happens when the sun sets. After setting, the sun still appears in the sky due to the same refraction phenomena. Okay, the sun is visible to us about 2 times before sunrise and delay sunset, 2 times before, 2 times, 2 times below sunset. Okay, that is 4 times, 4 times the difference will be. Actually the sunrise takes place when the sun is just above the horizon. When the sun is just below the horizon, the light rays coming from it and on entering into the earth atmosphere suffers atmospheric refraction from a rarer medium to denser medium here. Okay, so they bend towards the normal after each refraction. Due to this continuous refraction of light rays at each layer of the atmosphere, which allows the path of a curved path like this. Okay, so this is about the advanced sunrise and delay sunset. Next, come to the scattering of light. Okay, one thing I forgot, planets do not twinkle. See, stars are twinkling but planets are not twinkling. Why? Because they are very close to the earth as compared to the stars. The intensity of the light which we receive from the planets is very large. So small variations in their positions and brightness are not noticeable. So thus brightness of a planet always remains the same. Okay, so the continuous changing atmosphere which is unable to cause variation in the light rays which is coming from a too big size planet. Okay, so that when so many point sources of lights are present, that when entering into the atmosphere it will nullify its effect. So that's why planets won't twinkle. Okay, so sun appears oval shaped at sunrise and sunset, that is flattening of the sun. Here that also due to this atmospheric refraction only. So at noon when the sun is overhead, okay, here your sun is at overhead, okay, the ray have to pass through minimum thickness of the air, therefore the sun appears circular at the noon. So here directly no, so many layers it need not to cross, that's why the sun appears circular at a noon. Okay, next one is scattering of light. What is scattering of light? The random in the random direction, okay, throwing of light in various random directions is called as scattering of light. This phenomena is making the particles illuminated, so that phenomena is called as Tyndall effect also. So scattering of light is the phenomena of change in the direction of light on striking particles like water droplets, dust particles, etc. Okay, so the size of the particle in true solution is very small, so these particles do not scatter light. So therefore true solutions do not show the Tyndall effect. If you see, imagine this is the water droplet. So incident light ray came like this and it hit to the water droplet or dust particle. Okay, water droplet. Color I'll change. Okay, so here what happens when the incident light ray entered into the water droplet? It will scatter in different directions. Randomly it will. Okay, so here what happens? The blue light which is present in the sunlight, that also scattered, and red light also scattered, and what way they were scattered I'll tell you. Okay, so here the dust particle or the water droplet, if the sunlight is incident ray of the light is touching, so they the scattered light, these blue color lights are scattered lights only. Okay, so scattering of light in nature, if we see, that also we'll discuss now. So few examples of Tyndall effect. First one is canopy of a dense forest. Here it is given canopy of a dense forest. That is also an example of Tyndall effect. So Tyndall effect can be observed when a fine beam of sunlight enters into a smoke-filled room. Near the windows, if you see, during the sunlight when it is entering, you will find very small particles of dust which is raising in the air. Okay, so the earth's atmosphere which is consist of large number of particles like smoke, water droplets, dust particles, etc. Okay, when a beam of light that strikes such particles, its path become visible due to the scattering of light of these particles. Okay, this is, so scattering of light by particles in its path is called as Tyndall effect. So now the next phenomena of scattering of light in nature, how it is taking place, you can see. First one is blue. Natural phenomena like blue color of the sky, reddening of the sun at sunrise and sunset, white colored clouds, these all can be explained in terms of scattering of light. Okay, so here two things we need to remember. Here I will write about blue color. Here I will write about red. Okay. These two things if you understand, these two properties if you remember, whole chapter is in your hand. So first let us see red color. Red color has largest wavelength. That's why it least deviation. Travel very fast. Scatter less. Okay, these are the properties, four things you need to remember. Largest wavelength, least deviation, it travels very fast, scatters very less. So now come to the blue, opposite of this. Here it is largest, here it is shortest wavelength, maximum deviation, travel slow, okay, scatter more, scatter more. So blue color of the sky is, the color of the clear sky looks blue due to the scattering of the light in the atmosphere. So tiny gas molecules that make up the Earth's atmosphere, they scatter the blue portion of the sunlight in all the directions, so creating an effect that we see as a blue sky. Okay, so here the intensity of scattered light is always inversely proportional to the, okay, intensity of the scattered light. That is, with I we can write I is always inversely proportional to the 4 times of the wavelength of the particle. Okay, light of shorter wavelength is scattered much more than the light of a longer wavelength. Okay, so the red light has a wavelength of about 1.8 times greater than the blue light. So the blue light of shorter wavelength is scattered more effectively than the red light, which has longer wavelength. Okay, next, the scattering of blue light by gas molecules in the atmosphere. Sunlight made up of all the colors. Okay, the scattered blue light, then it is entering into the eyes that look blue. Next one is sunrise and sunset. The sun appears red, reddening of the sun at sunrise and sunset. Okay, at the time of sunrise and sunset, sun is not closer to the point of the viewer, position of the viewer, than at other times. So as sunlight is consist of all the 7 colors, out of which red light has the highest wavelength. Due to this, red light scatters less and the sky looks reddish to us at the time of sunrise and sunset. Okay, so near the horizon, most of the blue light and other lights of shorter wavelengths, they scatter by these particles. Means shorter wavelengths means green color, yellow color, all. So the red light has the largest wavelength, that scatter very less. So among the colors of the sunlight, the color which is scattered the least is red color, that enters into our eyes. Okay, so sun appears yellowish when sunlight passes through Earth's atmosphere. The molecules of different gases and other particles which are present in the atmosphere, they scatter light of shorter wavelength like violet, indigo and blue. So violet and indigo, they scatter more than the blue light, so that reaches to our sensitive eyes. So the white light gets deficient of violet, indigo and blue color. So amount of scattering and the resultant sunlight that appears yellow instead of white. Okay. Sky would have looked dark if the earth had no atmosphere. Okay. So no scattering of light would takes place. So sky would have appeared totally dark only. The danger signals also we use red color. This is the only reason. Okay, so red light can easily pass through fog, mist or smoke without getting scattered. So it can be seen from very long distances also. That's why the universal danger signal is red color. Okay, so this is about this colorful world. Any doubts regarding this, you can ask in the comment section or you can ask in the Telegram चैनल. ओके, टेलीग्राम ग्रुप इज देयर ना, नीचे डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में दिया गया है. जस्ट ज्वाइन मी देयर ऑल ऑफ यू. ओके, सो एनी डाउट्स यू आस्क मी. सो मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चंस आल्सो you will receive soon, then also you can learn in that way. So this channel is the best way to prepare for the term 1 examination. Okay, so be happy all of you, stay safe, stay confident, be strong, be confident all of you, stay safe and stay healthy. So all the best. Bye bye. Take care.